Hey golfers, if you're someone who hits your iron straight but you slice your driver, this video is for you. The first thing we need to understand as it pertains to ball flight is that our club path plays a very large role. What is club path? For simplicity's sake, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate an outside-in path. This would be more conducive towards pulling the ball or slicing it. You can see the club works well out away from me and towards me to the left for a right-handed player. That's conducive towards pulling the ball straight left and hitting a big slice. It's not what we necessarily want, especially with a driver if we're already struggling with that. A club path that's more from the inside, meaning the club moves from back here behind me out to the right for a right-handed golfer, this would be more conducive towards pushing the ball straight to the right or hitting draws. Obviously, something in the middle is usually ideal so that we don't have much curve at all on our golf ball. However, as you change from an iron to a driver, if you're hitting your iron straight, but your driver is slicing, obviously something is changing in your club path. Specifically, as you move from an iron to a driver, your club path gets more outside in. Let's talk about why that might be. We've all been told to set up to an iron with the ball, for the most part, in the center of our stance. As I do that from the down the line view, you can see that my shoulders are aimed fairly straight. Now that doesn't guarantee anything, but in my opinion, it's going to aim our club path for the most part to be pretty straight. Now, as we move to a driver, we've all been told that the ball position changes. Specifically, the ball moves forward in our stance from the center, closer to like our left heel, some even like it off our left toe. Well, as I demonstrate that, I want you to pay attention to how my shoulders alignment will change. As I move the club forward to approach the ball, you can see how my shoulders are now aimed more to the left. My shoulders being open, in my opinion, influences the path to come more from the outside in. So just by changing from 8-iron to driver and moving your ball position, you've stacked the odds against you in hitting the same kind of golf shot. A way to remedy this is as you approach the golf ball, even with the ball more forward, is to feel like your right shoulder is a little bit more back and your left shoulder is a little bit more forward. That's generic advice. I would have to see your swing to know if you need that. However, if you slice your driver because your path is too far outside in, that could be a good place to start. Now, the number two reason you may hit your iron straight but slice your driver has to do with your backswing. Now, when I see players make swings with irons versus drivers, typically what I see when they get to drivers, the backswing will get much, much longer. And a long backswing isn't necessarily a problem if it's done correctly. But the players I see struggle with driver, even though they hit their iron straight, when they get to the top of their swing, what I'll usually see is they will max out the amount their body can move, but in an effort to make the backswing longer and create more power, which it doesn't do, they will fold their arms, bend their arms, get very, very narrow. And as this happens, my elbows will bend and my left wrist will go into what's called extension, where my knuckles curl back towards my arm. And that has the effect of opening the club face. You can see the club face kind of pointed toe down here. Now, some players can get away with this. However, I would argue if that club face is that open, with how fast this driver moves and how long the golf club is, it is going to be very hard to prevent that club face from being open as we approach the golf ball. So, if you're a player who struggles with your driver but you hit your irons really well, pay attention to these two things. It could help you out. Thanks for watching.